What's up? It's your boy ET. Look, if you're looking to or you got to raise the bar on your marriage, you gotta click the link and get into Married into Crazy, y'all. I'm telling you, this coaching is gonna take your relationship to another level. Now look, you already know you need to raise the bar. You know that already. So stop thinking or overthinking. Click that link, and Marriage into Crazy is gonna take you and your spouse to marital bliss. Now you know. Click the button. Let's go.
Back to the point I was making before, despite any labels, I didn't care about that. I just knew, okay, I can be in my emotions and completely cut this person off because I don't have a label, or I could take the honesty that he told me and still value the relationship and still just hold it down. And that's what I decided to do. And I'm so glad that I did, because just having him as a person in my life, like, I'm winning.
Amen. Amen. I'm loving it. How long, you may have said it, maybe I missed it. How long have you two been married?
4 years.
You've been married 4 years.
Together for about, what, 10? Married for 4.
Yeah. You got that newlywed feel.
I try to stretch that friendship thing for a long time. You know.
He said, yeah, he did.
Yeah, but again, actions, guys, right? And this is what I want everybody that's listening to the podcast, right? You don't need a label to just create value in somebody's life. You don't need permission. You don't need that. And these are things that, believe it or not, Keila has taught me. And I'm 15 years older than her, but I've learned through that process because, we got into a space that we need to get validated because of what we do. And that's the only way we choose to do it.
I love your commitment to your faith, your commitment to your friendship, and the fact that you're building something that neither of you had seen before. It's like you're walking on, when it comes to your relationship, it's as if you're walking on virgin snow. You're forging your own path. And so there's something to that. Has there been fear? Has fear ever entered into the equation when it comes to, look, my parents didn't do it this way, and neither of you can really say that. Like, I just didn't really have that model, that thing. Where has fear been when it comes to forging this relationship over the last 4 years?
I'll be honest with you. Fear's always been a thing. The devil's a liar, and he's gonna try to whisper things in your ear. And mind you, I was programmed for majority of my life a certain way. So if you understand the human brain, right? Like there's these programming, these behaviors that will the brain is set up so it's gonna keep you safe, not successful. So when you start thinking about certain emotions or certain feeling, then you go back to this thought or this time, and it shows you how to respond to it. Like if you got burnt with the stove when you was 5 years old, you always gonna remember, like, yo, get away from that stove, because you're not gonna forget that burn. And so, there's always fear, but I know what allows me to get through those times, because I know it's me, right? I know it's me. It's not, Keila has done very well with always securing my insecurities, right? And doing what she needs to do as my wife, as a person, as a friend, most importantly, because I always believe that, before marriage, that's my homie, right? Like that loyalty, like where I come from, loyalty is huge. We leave together, we come together. No matter, even if you messed up, whatever situation happened, we're gonna get home, and then we talk about what it was, but we getting home together. And that's always still the same energy, but I believe that fear's always been there. And we're working towards that, right? Because I do believe, and this is us keeping it 100. I mean, I'm keeping it 100 with you guys, because that's what this is about. And God, puts me in a certain room, to be able to articulate my emotions and how I feel, because everybody thinks because Jorge, has a level of success in certain arenas that, it's all green and nah, we all feel certain scaredness, and we feel certain energies, and we gotta, we have these voices within ourselves to try to like keep us from, getting burned. But the reality is 9 out of 10 times, these are repeated thoughts that come across that are not real, right? And so if you do the work, right? If you do the work between marriage, between your husband and wife, and your significant other, and that's something that, in this season, we're going on vacation the next 2 days, right? And that's one of the, that's when I look forward to that, because it's going to be family. It's going to be us. We're disconnecting from everybody. And even though at times I do have that fear, and what is the fear? Let's one thing that I always think about. I'm 15 years older. There's a different time. Like let's keep it 100. Like Kayla's younger. I'm older. I'm a provider at heart, right? There's this thing like, yo, how that gonna play out, right? But one thing that God has reminded me is that there's the covenant. How you say it? Covenant. And I remember East talking about that when you have a rope, the rope is actually intertwined into 3. And so you have to have God intertwined into your marriage, because that fear is not real, right? That fear is foolishness. That fear is the world trying to fix you to become something you're not. And so, at times I fight with that, with myself, right? Insecurities, whatever it is. But the reality is that when you tap into God, he shows you and he allows you to be the source that you need to fulfill your heart, fulfill whatever it is. And that's why it's so important for Jorge to make sure he's good. I got to make sure because one thing that Keila and I do know is that I can't expect Keila to make me happy. Keila can't expect me to make her happy. Those are responsibilities of ourselves. Through that process, we're going to make each other happy. And so, again, that's going back to a season that at times Jorge does deal with, like, this, that, X, Y, life, right? But, I believe in marriage. I believe in there's no divorce. That's something that me and Keila have, we embody, right? No matter what's going on, that's not an option.
I love that. So I saw a little dance going on back there. I know. Oh, I know.
That's a vacation dance. See, Slim got it. She knows.
So where y'all heading?
We're going to Puerto Rico.
Hey, we love Puerto Rico.
We love Puerto Rico.
We're going to the motherland. Kayla is half Puerto Rican and half Caucasian. And just last year, she went for the first time. And mind you, right, this is her second time going now. And she knows I was born there. I was raised out here. But I've gone to Puerto Rico many, many times. And she made me fall in love with the island for the first time last year. I promise you, because she's so embodied. She knows more about the island. She drives through the island. Like, I'm like, bro, like, she's amazing. Like, yeah.
So that's, I'm of the mindset that the world is a big place. And sometimes we go visit places. It's like, oh, we don't need to go there again because there's so much more that we need to see. Puerto Rico was the first place that we were both like, oh, we coming back.
We are coming back. Yes.
I feel bad because I grew up my whole life. People thought I was Puerto Rican.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry. So when we were out there,
everybody, you look Spanish. You look Spanish though.
Everybody kept trying to talk to him. I was like, he is not Puerto Rican. He was like, don't worry about what I'm doing. And he had his hat on.
Right. I am.
He was feeling himself. I was like, then go get us some free stuff then.
Yeah, it was funny because there was one time we went horseback riding through the Amazon. So we're out there riding, and this brother just rides up next to him. He just starts going in. He's speaking Spanish. He's just going in. And I was like, bro, I know how to Espanol. And he was like, your parents didn't teach you? I was like, okay. And then he's like, oh, no. I said, no, man, I'm from California. He just rode off. He just didn't have nothing to do with it.
They do that to Keila all the time when she was over there.
You gonna go there and have some mofongo?
Yeah. Please don't get us started, please. Ernie, like, listen, we're on a countdown over here. I swear, we're on a countdown over here. She's been on 30-something days of no cheat meals, because Keila and I hit the gym, and we work on ourselves, and the mofongo is on a countdown right now. I promise you. I think we're gonna land on a plane, get the rental, and mofongo is gonna be there.
Oh, bro, when we were there, we're big on wherever we go. I want to talk to the staff wherever we're staying. Like, where do you eat? Where do you go? And this one guy was like, you don't want to go where I go. I'm like, yeah. Tell me where. And he was like, well, he's like, I don't know if you should go to Piñones. And
Piñones is the spot,
That's
bro.
where you gotta go, yeah.
and
That's
so
the
it was
good
like,
food.
we're gonna go. So there was this other couple that was there. Let's just say that they were melanin deficient. And they're like, he doesn't go eat. So we're like, yeah, we're gonna go out to Piñones. And like, where's that at? Let's just get in the cab and go. The cab driver was like, no, I'm not taking you there. He goes,
Yeah, it's you know, huts. It's little huts. It's little. It's
It was
but it's
very
the best.
scary.
It's gonna be the most authentic food you're gonna ever taste in the island of Puerto
Yeah.
Rico.
bruh, it was
It was really good.
amazing.
Yeah. But I was looking when we were driving in the van, and I was like, why are we getting so far away from civilization? And I was like, we don't know nobody out here.
Have you?
Where we going? What we doing? We pull up to, I guess, I don't know, it must have been the back of the restaurant, but we come to this, it reminded me of like an old Sizzlers. So we go in, and I was just like, I'm not eating here. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, I'm not finna eat here because it don't even look like
No, it don't even look sanitized. Period.
right. We
Let's
turn
keep it
that
100.
corner, and you know, I know I'm a funny acting broad, so I'm just like, okay, keep it in gear, girl. But we turn the corner, and then the outside is just opened up to the whole beach, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was absolutely beautiful. And I think that must be the reaction that a lot of people get, because some of the staff were looking at us like, yeah, you better change your attitude, you know.
You got grandma in the back cooking that big
Right.
thing of food, and but it's be honest with you. Listen, I'm from out there, and I go out there, and some of those places are a little, you know, look unsanitized, and you got flies coming around, like it's real. But once you get past that and you embody the culture, I mean, that's really where a lot of them go. And you get the real good food. And you know, Kayla went over there last year, and there was a lot of places that she didn't want to touch, and so this year she's like, yo, I know I messed up. Can we go back and hit those?
It was the Chinese food. I was like, I don't know Puerto Rico eat no Chinese
Right.
food. I was like, you know what?
It was
Those
probably good.
Spanish, those are some Puerto Rican Chinese people. They must have
Yes.
flavor. We trying that.
Yes.
There was a spot that was a Puerto Rican Chinese place that's it's over in San Juan. It was down by the it was like a few restaurants down from no, it was over by
Agua Viva?
was it by Aquaviva? No, it wasn't
Oh, it was
downtown.
it was down that.
It was from
I
the
know what you're
hotel.
talking about. I know what you're talking
While
about.
we were there, the place caught on fire. There, do you remember that? In the back, there was like smoke.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I do
was not
remember that.
expecting you to say that.
That place, but it was no, but the food was bomb.
Everything there.
Nobody
that
wanted to
we ate,
leave. Place was on fire, but nobody wanted to go.
Yeah.
'cause-
everything was so good. It was so good. And I was like, all I could think of was like, I just want to come back to eat. That's all I care
For
about.
real.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna eat everything. I'm gonna bring some two sizes too big pants, so that when I get on the plane, I can fit and just be comfortable. Because we
That's-
grubbing when we go back.
I'm coming back around. I'm prepared.
She gonna eat enough for both of y'all.
Please do.
So I want to take some time to talk about some of the platforms that you have, because I know that early on I mentioned that, you know, you speak, you talk, you're an author as well.
Yes, sir.
And you have a book. It's called Paralyzed to Prosperous, I think. What is that about? I mean, what was the mindset behind it, and what can people get when they actually get the book?
Yeah, so the book is helping students walk into their greatness, right? And it's really, you know, growing up, I just didn't have the guidance, Ernie, right? I didn't have the influence, the positive influence. I didn't have someone to really, you know, guide me through these emotions, right? As a child, as a young individual. And mind you, you know, I was making decisions as I went. And that cost now almost my life, but it cost me, you know, my legs, right? And I always tell the kids, I'm like, listen, you know, you ever get grounded, right? Remember when you was younger, you got grounded, you got in trouble, and you were grounded for a week, couple of days. I've heard stories where kids were grounded for like a year. I'm like, oh my God, what did you do, right? But you know, but I tell them I'm still grounded. I'm still dealing with a decision that I can never take back, and that's what happens with us. And so I share my story in the book. I give some principles, right? Because the truth is that, you know, I was a good kid. You know, truth is that, you know, nobody at home really was had the ability to pour into me, guide me. even sit down and do projects with me from school, ask me, like, nobody cared. Nobody really took the time, right? And I look back and it's real easy for me to say that, and I don't want people to take it like, yo, I was just being abused. It's that they didn't know no better, right? The educational level of my household was probably middle school, if that, right? So it wasn't that wasn't it. And so when I decided, when God put me to this, write this book, because mind you, I put me in front of 10,000 people, 10 million people, and I will speak my heart out. I love sharing, I love speaking into, but when it comes down to articulating myself on paper, that's a challenge. So there was a twofold in there. It was like God needed to show me that I am capable, right? I am capable to do something. That book should have been done in 2 or 3 months. It took me a year because of the insecurities, the scaredness, right? Like that scare comes in different shapes and forms, right? The programming. I'm not, who's going to read this because Jorge is a 9th grade dropout. Like, yo, I can't speak proper English or proper Spanish. Let's keep it 100. But here we are, right? God chose me and he equipped me to get into rooms and share the stage with Eric Thomas. Like, let's be honest, right? People ask me, like, yo, how do you get on the podcast? I was like, I'm not that deep. God, bro, like I've been blessed. He's been touching me since I could remember. So the year of me being in high school and I decided to walk off that campus and drop out was not because I was intrigued with the street and I just wanted to, gangbang anything. It was literally because my education level, my grades had dropped. I played football for the first time in my life, loved it. I wanted to go into wrestling. And because I didn't have the proper, grades, transition into the next sport, I wasn't eligible. And so there was a disconnect in the school. There was a disconnect that nobody seen. I call it the middle child, right? I was more like the middle child. I wasn't troubled. I wasn't a troubled, disrespectful kid, but I wasn't a high achiever either. So I navigated through, and I was more that middle child in high school or through the school system. And my job is to kind of not only educate the school system, but educators, because they're in the front lines. It's like, let's not forget about the middle child. We tend to put a lot of attention on the troubled kids. We tend to put a lot of attention on these higher achievers. But then, Jorge that's walking, is quiet. Nobody stops and say, Jorge, you good?
That's right.
Yo, Jorge, what's up? And so I fell a victim of that. And so my journey was not only God put me there, not only to develop myself and show me, man, I got some things for you, kid, but I need you to start here. And so I created the book to give some guidance to our youth and to show them that, Jorge 9th grade dropout. And mind you, I just graduated and got my associates, which took me 9 years. And I walked on stage and I received. And 9 years ago, I said I was going to walk on stage and I was going to get a degree and I was going to come a first-time generational, graduate from my family. And I am. And now we pivot. We start September 7th. We pivot to, start the journey on bachelor's and master's and ultimately into Gala to be to the doctoral in psychology.
That's what's up. That is what is up. That's what's up. I love it. I promise you I do. I promise you. And let me just say this. I don't want to take over. But I'm just so thankful and just really I'm touched. Because even for the both of you, because you did not let your circumstances dictate the rest of your life. There are so many people that have let circumstances, tragedies dictate the way that they will move through life, the rest of their lives. Keila, you coming out of an abusive relationship, being a teenage mom. I could write stories about the teenage moms and the young ladies that fall into that and stay there. You was like, okay, I'm just gonna dust myself off. Would you say dust your shoulders off? Isn't that a song by Jay-Z or somebody?
Jay-Z.
Anyway.
You already know.
But I'm just saying, and you were like, no, I want something more. I want something more for my child. I want him to see that there's something else out there. We don't have to stay here. We don't have to be stuck in this quicksand, this molasses or whatever. You were able to move through that. Jorge, the same thing with you. You were 17 years old when you got shot and you're in a wheelchair and you could have just stayed there and put that cage around your whole mind. And you guys just stay there and be miserable. I mean, just looking at you all, just smiling, laughing, joking, touching each other. I love it. It's beautiful. We are all about love, and we are all about marriage, and we're all about just success. And that is what I see. You guys are, you got, she might be 15 years younger than y'all, but y'all still young. You know what I'm saying? Young love. Oh, and it's still fresh. It's still you. I love it. I appreciate it. I'm honored that y'all even said, yeah, let's go do this little MIC show and talk to these people and
Yeah.
share some information. I love it. I appreciate it. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
I received that, sis, and I thank you. It's never perfect, and one thing that I want to share with everybody, and I'm glad that you touched on that, because one thing that I forgot to say is, and this is for everybody that's listening, like for real, because I always want to take the moment to really educate, right? Um, it's sis, you said it, like, right? It's a choice. We don't. Kayla told you she didn't know what's in front of her, but she knew she needed to move. I knew that I needed to move, right? But way before I got put in a physical chair, I have what we call the paralyzed mindset. I let my situation define who I was. People, when they meet me, they don't know who I am. They're like, "Yo, I'm sorry." I'm like, and I smile. I was like, "Why are you sorry? Like, what happened? What did you do?" Mind you, I already know where they're coming from. They're like, "No, no, no. I'm just saying, like, you in the chair." And I'm like, "Yo, listen. Way before I got put in this chair, I had what we call the paralyzed mindset. I might be confined into this chair, but I'm not contained in this chair." And so, I want everybody to really take a moment and listen to that, because, we kind of sit here and we look at the grass greener on the other side. But the reality is that you have everything it takes to create uh, the possibilities in your life. You just got to, number one, understand what is that for you. You got to understand what you stand on. And that's, again, going back to what we were talking about, that you are the table. And the reason we get stuck and we get in that paralyzed mindset is because we're too worry about having, blaming others for our lack of success. We're too worry about what our spouse is not doing for our marriage. And we're too worried about, comparisons, right? Like, that's another thing. It's just like, so when you start working on Jorge, Keila starts working on Keila, the beauty that comes out of that is next level. And if you're really a man of faith and a woman of faith, all you have to do is follow God's characteristics. It's there. That's it, right? Like, let's not make this deeper than what it is. It's either you do or you don't do. And I believe that it's not a destination, it's a journey. And I'm glad that I'm able to show folks, not only through my marriage, through my wife. She's an animal. I don't think I give her enough credit when I say that. She behind the clippers, behind the chair. Keila has this gift of making people feel comfortable and understand them, and they're able to just be themselves. And I see her navigate through relationships and people and customers, and it's just amazing, right? And I am a fan of Keila. I'm her number one fan. I tell this all the time, because when I'm actually out talking about barbers, and I'm like, "Yo, listen, I can put you on a barber. Like, she's a beast. She's like, look, she got, because I believe in her. I believe in what God has put in her. But that's because she's done the work. Right? I'm in the process of, regardless if I share, like I said, like, yo, there's times, yeah, I'm scared. Like, there's a level of like, yo, this and that, but I know that's foolishness. So I go through the emotion. The emotion is valid, but it doesn't allow me making an excuse to excuse myself from not doing what I need to do for my marriage and myself. So I thank you. I receive it. It means a lot to me, because that's all I look forward. The praise is good, as Jorge speaks, but that's not it. We all know that's not it. Like, I've been honored to be on stages with like Eric Thomas, but did I change somebody's life through that process? That's really where I'm at. Impact. By the time I'm gone, guys, like, what did Jorge leave behind? What does Sierras as a family, as a unit, what did we do with God's opportunities?
You guys, man, I'm telling you right now, this is such a blessing to have you on the show and just to have this conversation, just to be able to chop it up. And we are extremely thankful. Where can the audience find you? Where can they actually reach out and follow you and learn more about your platform and what you're doing and how you're impacting these kids?
Or just go get their haircut, because
Amen. Yeah, we want a few shout outs going. Yeah, because if I was out that way, I don't have much, but
but we could take care and lace up that beard too, man.
So we own MVP's Barbershop in Worcester, Massachusetts. And you come 7 days a week. We're open every day. You can follow me on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Keila Marie Sierra. It's Keila, Keila. And then Jorge, make sure you tell them your website too.
Yeah. So you could follow me on every platform, and which is A as in Apple dot Jorge Sierra, JORGES as in Sam, IERRA. So that's A dot Jorge Sierra on all platforms, LinkedIn, TikTok. I mean, all of them. And then go to the website. You'll be able to really look into what we do. We do coaching. We are part of the Extreme Execution coaching team. And we speak. We go into schools, like my brother has spoke earlier. We're advocate of our people, right? Just creating value, helping people move from that paralyzed mindset into that prosperous mindset. And that's www.ajorgesierra.com. And listen, say what's up, hit us up in IG, hit us up wherever it is. Any questions you guys have, I'm blessed to be able to just create some value in anybody's space. And again, to the two of you, thank you. This was definitely, an honor. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a busy season. And navigating through certain commitments, and this was one that I just could not allow myself to not be able to do. So I appreciate that God put it in your heart to allow us to come on your platform and share with your community, and allow us to share and be, and just be ourselves. Because I think that's important. I think, we need to do more of that. I think that this world's shifting into more of an acting, and we don't, you're gonna get the Spanglish from Jorge. You're gonna get the true. You're gonna get the true, emotion, and I'm gonna always try to keep it 100, because that's just what I stand on, and I appreciate it.
That's good. It's that authenticity, and I'm just gonna keep it real. Look, this brother is genuine. Is the word that comes to mind, because we were at the coaches meetup with ET and Moose. I think Carl came through for a hot second, and it was funny. One of the topics that came up was just closed mouths don't get fed, and I was thinking, I saw you sitting there, and I'm like, I've been wanting to talk to you for the longest about getting on the show. I was like, whatever, I'll just go over and just dap it up. So we went over, talked to you, and I was like, would you mind? He's like, oh, done. It's done. He's like, just pulled it out, got my number. He's like, just call me. Let's do this. It was that genuine. I mean, the fact that you're not just impacting kids, man. There's a lot of adults. There's a lot of couples right now that were touched by your story. And it's that authenticity that we need to help lift that covenant of marriage, across the United States, across the world. And I thank you for utilizing our platform to really help touch and elevate those people.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. Sometimes Jorge and I be butting heads, and be like, why do people always want to talk to us about our relationship? We beat it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a dope reminder that like God always, no matter what, he always has these opportunities. So we're not fools to jump on it. So keep doing what you guys are doing. We definitely need, our communities need this, because at the end of the day, a husband and wife, we're the ones that start families. We cultivate families, generations that just ultimately operate in the purpose of life. So I'm all for it. I love it. Y'all, I promise you guys, those of you who are listening and you get inspired by, what we say, like, please understand, like, we have our seasons, but I want to leave you with this. Whenever you are faced with a challenge and you feel like you and your spouse are continuously disagreeing, or you're fighting, and you just like can't understand like what this trial and tribulation, it's a moment for growth. And people are watching your relationship no matter what, whether you like it or not.
That's right.
You don't know who's watching, and people don't so much care about the problem, they care about how you are responding, and you grow through that problem. So that's my piece to leave you guys with.
I'm trying to tell you, she be teaching.
Right?
That's right.
You heard it right here from the Citadel.
Yes, let's go. And the farmer.
The Citadel and the farmer. Exactly. Oh, that's so dope.
That's funny.
Look, like, hey, listen, everyone, some of the handles that they dropped, where you can find them, it's going to be in the show notes. Definitely click on that link, check them out. Jorge Speaks, you need him talking to, not that he's there for all kids, but when you were talking, that middle child, that middle kid that just kind of floats through the system. There were some people I met over the years that I become close to, and I'm like, I went to school with you. Are you sure we graduated the same year or whatever? And like, yeah, I was there. I just kind of went through, and there's people that are invisible. There are marriages that are invisible. These guys have a talent for elevating everyone. So let's definitely go there and reach out.
Yeah, definitely. Again, I said it earlier, we are honored. Thank you guys so much. And you know, we believe in total transparency. I love that you guys follow suit. You believe in total transparency. So thank you for that. Just being who you are, you know, showing up like, yeah, this is what happened. We wasn't trying to, you know, you're not trying to make it look all a pretty cake. You were like, nope, we are the batter. We mixing it up. We doing everything we need to do. So just thank you so much. It was very touching, very inspiring. And you know, I know you keep talking about Jorge. Don't forget about his wife.
Oh no, Keila, I actually got the name right this time.
Yes, let's go.
I was pinching them.
Let's go. Let's go.
Look, y'all. Hey, check them out. Be sure to go visit their website.
Yes.
And if you're out there, and what's the city again? Where MVP's at?
Worcester, Mass.
A lot
Worcester,
of people
Mass.
Say Worcester,
Worcester.
but it's Worcester.
Worcester.
Yes.
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yes.
MVP. Look, go. Hey,
Barbershop.
go get
So-
faded up out there.
Right. Now we got somewhere else to go visit.
Right.
Massachusetts.
That, hey, listen, you ever been to Boston?
We got the fire food spots.
You never
Never
been
been.
to Boston?
Never been
This
to
young
Boston.
lady is not only everything I told you, but she's also a tour guide.
I am.
So you ever want
a
to come
good
up this
time.
way? She knows how to give you the right foods, the right places, and you
Okay.
have the only experience out here. I just say don't come in the winter because but definitely come
not gonna come out in
a spring type, summer type, and we got you. We'll make sure you're situated. It's you know, Massachusetts has a lot of history and a lot of, you know, cool places and experiences. So I think you going from the west out to up north, you'll be able to get some great food and great experience. So you have to come up here. No
Definitely.
playing around. You have to come
I
up
got you.
here.
We're gonna make that a point.
You said
All right.
food, I was in. I was like, oh, food, okay.
All right, I know it's late for y'all back east, so look, let's just like we always say, you know, we're very thankful, and until the next time, be blessed.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.